too much to not win that game by more than two goals. It's unfortunate, but there's definitely more positives than negatives in that game, in my opinion.
Yeah, getting the second goal ahead, Jason, that's what has not happened there.
Yeah, there's so many things going in my head at the moment. To take the lead at home twice against the side that's where they are and not to win it, you know, once you can kind of say, yeah, okay, we got done by what was a good set piece from our point of view. The second ball, they won the first one, the second, they equalised the second goal. That's hard to take, that one. That's hard because it's Koulibaly kind of made Sim's mind up a little bit by once he commits, he doesn't have to. Stay on your feet, stay away, beat me. By closing him down, he makes his mind. He's then got to do something about it. Look, take nothing away from the finish from the boy. I mean, you know, I think it's his first ever goal as well. I mean, congratulations to him. But yeah, it's 2 points that have got away from us, chaps, I'm afraid, and that. Yeah, I'm really sitting. I'm trying to comprehend what especially concede 2 goals when you take the lead at home, and all you can do is Everton fans. But now Sean Dyche, stay in the game, stay in the game, stay in the game. Little scrappy goals, can we find a way? Seen it too many times, Ben. You and I, we've seen, everyone has at Burnley now, Everton.
Yeah, well, they get a point further clear of West Ham. They were very tight in there down at the bottom. They are still very much in that. A lot of people think that because Sean Dyche is in charge and they're very organised, they may well stay up. That kind of grit is certainly going to see them going through, you would think, to probably being safe, but they're still a long way from it. It would have been 4 in a row. That would have been lovely to go into the international break with that. He'll be annoyed though, Graham Potter, won't he, Sam? He'll be annoyed.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you dominate a game like that...
To go ahead twice, yeah, and to be very much the better side.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate because, like we said, we looked at the Everton bench and we said, have they got the players to, you know, make a change? And Sims, like you said, hasn't scored a goal. It's just, it seems like Chelsea's luck for him to get his first goal for Everton, but at the same time I still think there's definitely positives that we can take from that, and going into the international break that Potter has to still deal with some things.
Absolutely, 3 wins and a draw, very good. The Real Madrid draw could have been a little bit kinder, I suppose, but before that we've got 2 more home games here actually in a row, I think, following this one. It's Villa and Liverpool in quick succession, Jace. When we come back, I mean, there's an awful lot of Chelsea players going to an awful lot of destinations over the next couple of weeks.
Yes, indeed, and you know, fingers crossed they all come back fit and well. That's all you can hope for, because look, the point today, it would have been nice to have closed that gap and just see what it does to them, you know, to get a little bit closer to European football. You know, it's so frustrating.
It was so close. It was so close. We were looking at the table and how close we can get to, you know, climbing up the table.
And then you're looking above those 3 above, and then you look at what Liverpool are going to do, and then you think, okay, maybe. But it's one that got away today. There's been a few this season, but that hurt, especially on the back of what have been 3 good results.
Spurs dropped a 2-goal lead today, in case you missed that earlier. 3-3 draw with Southampton. Blues could have closed in on them today. Liverpool didn't play Fulham because Fulham are playing in the Cup this weekend. I believe last I saw Manchester City 5-0 up on Sean Dyche's former club Burnley in that particular FA Cup quarter-final there. Chelsea not involved, obviously. And it's now 6, I'm just being told. A hat-trick for some bloke called Haaland. Do we know?
Never heard of him.
No. Never heard of him.
Sign him up.
Yeah, probably his first goals of the season, much like Ellis Sims here. But, yeah, it's 2 goals in a game again. I'm pleased about that. The clean sheets seem to have just dried up once more. But the funny thing is, normally when someone gets a smash and grab like that equaliser, the first equaliser was, boys, that can happen when a team's not been in it, especially a Dyche team. What you don't normally get is when you get the chance to go back in front again, it doesn't normally happen a second time. You know what I mean? You don't see that movie very often, do you? That's not the script.
Yeah, it's just Chelsea's luck, though. It's just... we've seen it so many times this season of us dominating games and being in positions where you think we're going to get the 3 points. You know, it started literally from the start of the season up until now. It's unfortunate, but it's those fine moments. You know, Koulibaly was having a great game, but it's just that lapse of concentration to let him get in front of him in that position that can cost you the 3 points.
What about centre forward here at Chelsea? Kai Havertz is the top scorer now, Jason, with 9 this season. Do we need one?
Yes. Oh, my word. Do we need a centre forward? Yes, we do. number of names been banded about. I know Ivan Toney's got his issues, both, off the field with what's happening with the betting situation that he's been charged with. Let's wait and see. He's a Chelsea centre forward to me. The way he is, the way he looks, the way he plays. We need a platform. We need a rugged, hard, clever, intelligent footballer up top. But he ticks a lot of boxes. Plus, he knows the Premier League. He's ready made. We're not dragging someone from the Bundesliga or Serie A.
Nkunku, by all accounts.
Well, yes, yeah, but he's not a number 9.
No, but we don't sign number 9.
He's a front man, but he's not a number 9.
Haaland, I've just been told, has failed to score in only 5 games at the Etihad. He has scored 6 hat-tricks at the Etihad this season. That is ridiculous. He's been moaning this week a bit, talking about maybe not staying there all that long. You can always find a home here, Erling, but Kai Havertz did get another goal today. He's 10 out of 10 from the penalty spot, by the way, in his career. And, you just hope that the next time it will be enough to win it. They're going to be frustrated sat in there. They're not going to feel like they've got a point, are they, Jason?
Oh, no, it feels like a defeat. I know it's not, and I know we've had a tough season. And, the thing is that there's teams behind us. So Villa are the only team that I can see right now that aren't playing for anything. They're not playing for European football. They're not fighting for survival. Palace are below them. They're fighting for their lives. We're the only team at the lowest of the table that are looking up thinking, can we get European football for next season? And those drop points there are ones that you're going to say, look back in the season, that slipped through our fingers.
Well, at level with Villa now, it's only goal difference and they're next here.
Yeah, there you go, right, there you go.
And I know in theory you could say they're on the beach, but if Chelsea are still going for Europe, then so are Aston Villa.
Yeah,
Sam.
and
Unai Emery is quite a stickler.
Yeah, but also there's bigger fish to fry for us. These guys are playing for places. Maybe not in European places this season, but a European quarter-final.
And I just think every game up until the end of the season is a final. We've not been that consistent enough to not go into every game and need to get 3 points. We played like that today, but it's just those chances, those finer details, like we said in the first half. Could we have scored earlier to give ourselves a little springboard to go into the second half and get a few more? Did we leave ourselves a little bit too much or give Everton too much hope in a sense? And I think going forward, because Aston Villa, they're a decently coached side, and the teams that we're going to be playing, the Liverpools as well, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, just looking at it here, it's 2 home games. It's Villa and Liverpool, then it's Wolves away, and they're actually a little bit better than they have been, although slightly inconsistent. And then in between the 2 Champions League legs, Brighton are here, and we know they're good. They're definitely in the European picture. I mean, they are really overachieving, maybe the most impressive of all the overachievers actually this season. Then Fulham and Brentford in there, really bloodying the big boys' noses, Jason, aren't they?
Yes, and
because of them, at least one of, it might be both of Liverpool and Chelsea miss out of Europe or something like that. I mean, that really could happen.
Yes, of course, and credit to them really, because you said overachieving there, but they've got a number of really good players.
Even though they keep selling some really good players.
Really good players, and from our point of view, it's hard not to come away and feel like it was 2 points, but really ultimately that's not going to define our season. We're not.
Real Madrid is going to define this season and the transfer window. That's what people will remember.
That's the next game, but we've got to keep ticking over when it's playing for places. There's places up for grabs here.
Right, with that in mind then, we were talking pre-match about how you feel like Potter is settling mostly on his team. There's a couple of either-ors, but you're seeing that generally. It's 4 games in a row, it's been Cover and Enzo Fernandez in the middle. Does today's match give you any more confirmation in any given position or raise any more question marks about any given position?
I think he's obviously found the style and the team that he wants to play, but I'm also surprised that players like Mudryk, who had a decent game against Leicester, didn't come in just to stretch Everton a little bit, but he has got the players that can cause different problems, so he's still trying to find the solution. You could say some of the players that he brought in, Chukwuemeka to come on, Loftus-Cheek, Connor.
Yeah, they said that it's a great point. We said the same thing in that Leeds game, didn't we? He brought on some of people thinking, but actually it worked and the game was shut down. Maybe if you're a little more proactive, Jason, if you're bringing on Mudryk, well, look, Everton will be going for it. We can bang it long, stretch them that way.
Yeah.
Or is that just being wise after the event?
There's a little bit of both, actually. When you look back over a game, managers earn their corn for a number of reasons. changing the course of a 90-minute game that's not going your way, and also bringing on subs that can affect the game. And how do you change that game? What's your... I don't remember thinking the subs. I don't remember sitting there going, ooh. But of course, once they get that late equally, but they come down, you can't legislate. Koulibaly will look back on that and think to himself, what could I have done better in that situation? 1v1, in the box, don't let him get beyond me. And he makes his mind up. All it is a 3 or 4 yard step into there. Sims reads it, gets beyond. Once he's beyond him, he's in the box. He can't do anything. He drags him down to a penalty and possibly a red card.
But it's also the pass that went in beforehand, because there was a little
Into
gap
the Corey,
in the middle. And I think, obviously, I'm not blaming Loftus-Cheek, but, you know, he'd just come on. He is filling in that gap a little bit. Kovacic was very used to, you know, going from left to right. And those little finer moments, yes, we can talk about Koulibaly, but it's just... I understand changes need to be made, but those changes at that moment, it can shift the game.
It's a very good point about, because Decore got in between the two of them, in between our two midfielders. It's just a little, he popped it off, didn't he? Ball into him, popped it up into Sims. Even then, though, you think, okay, it's not...
Fine margins, folks. 2-2 the full-time score, and my thanks to Jason and Sam for being up here with me on the gantry today. We've got tons of women's football content coming up next week in the build-up to the Champions League quarter-finals for Emma Hayes and the Blues. As for Graham Potter and the men, well, it's a long wait now, but we'll see you back here when we return for the Aston Villa home game, which is followed very quickly by a midweek home game against Liverpool, and that might be instructive in the race for some sort of European finish for both clubs. But for now, from Stamford Bridge, it's goodbye.